Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing something a little bit different. So usually I do a lot of big scale builds, but for today I'm doing something that's a little bit closer, a little bit more detailed. So we're doing this very small fishing village, and the river that it's on I actually made myself, and the bit of a hill right there I also added in myself just to give it a bit more characteristics. And so yeah, this is basically where the main town is going to be. Like I said, it's going to be really small, but it does turn out good because I used this road that I've already put down, but it's very rural looking. It's very dirty, there's puddles in it, and it just creates a really nice atmosphere, and I think it really fits well with the look that I'm going for. And so the thing that I just added there was a bit of a boardwalk, but not that anyone's going to use it. And so this is the road that I was talking about. It's the very grungy looking type road. It's got the puddles in it, which you'll see in a second, and it just creates a really nice looking image, and it's pretty much how I wanted it to look. So I'm making a fishing village, so we need to have lots of little ports everywhere. I don't add in too many because it is quite a small town overall. I think it ends up being like 1,000 people, which is kind of a lot, but in terms of size, it's very small. So yeah, there's not too many piers or docks or whatever you'd like to call that, but I do add in lots of bits of detail, and yeah, it's definitely not manicured at all, that is for sure. So the roads that I'm placing down now is going to be where let's just say the town part will be, the more dense part. And I do add in some shops where that boardwalk is, but honestly not many because the size is just so small. And when I placed them down, I was thinking like, oh, they're probably like fish and chip shops, they're probably like live fresh fish that have just been caught. And then this building here that I placed down is actually one industrial building. So even though it's going to have such a small amount of workers, I think it's still good to have it in the area just because it might just be what they need for that area anyway. And I downloaded a few different types of boats. So we have this really big one here, which I think you can actually make it into a working boat that carries people. Like you can change it into a ferry, but I couldn't be bothered because the ferries, I don't really want ferries in here. So that big boat, it's probably a little bit too big because the river is it's not very deep, so hopefully they can still get around. But most of all the other boats are very small. You can see it there. I put in some canoes and very little paddle boats around, so I guess it's more paddle boat type, but there's just still that one big steamboat right there. And so yeah, it's not very big overall. And so this is where the shops will go, kind of along this straight part. Well, not really straight, but right in front of the boardwalk there. And honestly, not many at all, but we don't need many. And once all the residents move in, I think it is a good supply and demand. And I had to place all of the houses myself because the houses that would just build would be a real mixture of different types of architecture. So I wanted it to kind of be this similar type look, and I think what I'm using is a European pack, and I think that was actually a little expansion pack by the actual developers of the game. I think it was like $4, $4.99 or something like that, for like 100 different little cottage buildings like that. So I think it fitted in quite well with the look of this area. Like, you don't want anything too dense, and like all of them have a backyard, they have trees, and you'll see once I finish adding in all of the houses, there's a lot of nature everywhere, and make sure it's very lush. And even in like the main street right there, I still put in a lot of trees because I wanted it to feel like it's very rural. I can't say that word very well. Rural, urban, rural. So yeah, a lot of vegetation, as you can see, comes in, but I mean it fits in well with the vibe that I'm going for. In terms of road connection, there is one road connection that goes out to I don't know if I can explain it off the top of my head. It's where on top of the big hill there is the off an entrance ramp, and then part of it goes into a tunnel. So it connects up there, and it also connects near all of the water tanks. So that is where it connects. There's also a little town that I built off camera. I don't know why I built it, but yeah, so that's where it connects. So there is still a connection. So this town definitely is not self-sustainable, that is for sure, because I don't add in all of the necessary facilities. I think I do add in the police, fire trucks, maybe a clinic as well, but I'm not sure if I add in a school or much else. So, and then the thing that I'm adding now is actually a actual working power line, and it fits in really well with the theme of this whole village, because the power lines just go everywhere. They're kind of messy and they're not hidden at all, and it's very realistic to me. So which you guys will see at the end when I give you a close-up look. And so what am I adding in now? That is the clinic. So I blend it in because I don't want you to really see it. You don't really need to see it. So by putting it within a commercial building, it doesn't have to be its own building. It can be mushed in with, it can be inside like another building. It doesn't have to be just one shop per building. So that's why I mush different things together. And then here I'm just adding in some little ports for the houses. Not that it's going to be used, because they're actually really small. And I don't know if I'd even want to get on a boat right there, because if you look at the water flow, it is really fast. So, but the water flow near like the main dock area is quite slow, because I made it quite shallow. So the water didn't actually normally flow where I put this area up here. So this was all land. So that's why the water does not flow through there naturally. It kind of, the only water that's flowing in is because I just built it and it's flowing in just to fill it up. But it doesn't actually flow through because it's such a angle to get around. And you can see it kind of rushes there up in the top left corner. But yeah. So this little island here, I thought, should I fully build this out? Should I make it an actual town? But no, because I'm not going to do that, because the downtown, well, let's not call it a downtown, the main street of the village is not very big. So that is kind of the biggest area that I wanted for the village. And if I built this town, this suburb, or whatever you want to call it, this island a lot bigger, it would look very out of scale, and it definitely just would not look right. So I tried to keep it in a nice balance, and that's why this part here is not too big, but nonetheless it's still big enough. It looks good. I'll add in some more ports or docks over on this side, but I don't think I add in boats because the water is a little bit lumpy. I couldn't be bothered to like fix it up a bit, and so yeah, I think that's the only two that I add in on this side. And that boat, that big steamboat, it actually keeps steaming the whole time. Like the smoke keeps coming out the whole time. I kind of like that look because it makes it look really realistic. And the only issue I had with that boat is, which you'll see in a minute, I think, when you zoom in, it's actually floating above the water. It's hovering. So, and when you use the move it mod to put it down in the water, or partially on the water, it actually then says that it's flooded. So I do fix that up in a minute, but you'll see that it keeps saying it's flooded, and there's nothing I can do about that. So we just have to leave it saying it's flooded, and I mean, I don't really care. I think maybe after I filmed this, I actually raised it back up because I just got so annoyed by the hovering, the hovering and the water flooding symbol. So you can see it's floating right now, and yeah, like I said, it didn't know what else to do. But anyway, that is it. It's a very quick speed build. Yeah, so every now and then I just like to do a bit of a speed build, a bit of something more in detail. You can see the power lines right there, the main street, and just look at the road. It is very grungy, it's very dirty, it's just dirt and it's wet. So, and this is the main part. I don't even know if that ship could get out, it's so squishy. And this is the main housing area, and I liked this little area because it's kind of just like forgotten boats. It's a bit of a just dirty area, no one really cares anymore, and definitely I thought I needed it in such a small village area. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back very soon with another video. So thank you guys for watching, and bye for now.